Hey kids, it's Dane from the WonderDog Show. Today's show is sponsored by Flavor. This is a new new way you get your alcohol delivered right to your home. I signed up with it last week. I got myself 3 little samples. It's really neat. Get your personalized recommendations for your own bar. I'm a whiskey man myself. 50 milliliter bottles. Got 3 of them. Came in this cool little packaging unit here, and it has these little description cards built right in the top of it, and it tells you all about it. It's almost like wine tasting. I don't know if you guys go wine tasting, but it's almost like wine tasting. You get your sample A, sample B, sample C, and the first one was Breckenridge Bourbon. 43% alcohol, and on the back it gives you these little pictures of kind of where the flavor starts and where it ends. So this one was kind of like a honey with vanilla, roasted, toasted banana bread, sweet, went into spicy notes and dried fruits. It was I think out of the 3 it was my favorite. The B was the rye whiskey. I just got introduced to rye whiskey. Very, very nice. Started off with the malted barley, went into the caramel, citrus pepper, and it was really good. Like I said, the Scotch, not my favorite, but Mackay Bay, single malt Scotch whiskey, and that one was kind of a sweet, peppery, bitter, creamy, vanilla, peaty. I don't know what peaty is, but I think that was what threw me off. It was like a left turn at the ride-only signal. White chocolate, smoky. Anyway, check it out. Flavor, FLAVIAR.com. Get your account set up there. They have things like tequila, gin, rum, rye, bourbon, scotch. At Flavor, we want to help you build the best home bar that fits your taste. To achieve that, we use a combination of human experts and technology. Our in-house experts have built lists of drinks. Each bar needs to stock the empty slots you need above. Next, use our flavor match algorithm to get personalized recommendations of specific bottles that are in stock today and fit your flavor profile. Check it out today at flavor.com. Hey, today on the show we had we were at FINTECHWORLD in Los Angeles, March 5th. We did a number of interviews, and one of our great ones is Isaac Dietrich. Isaac Dietrich from Massroots.com, and that one's coming up right now. Okay, we're back here at FinTech World Conference here in LA. This is March 5th, and I thought I'd give myself a birthday present by coming out to and sharing the knowledge with everyone here. I don't stop working for anything, man. I don't. Isaac Dietrich, Massroots. You just had a talk right here, right? You just went on stage.
Yeah, it's been an incredible event so far.
Yeah.
Meeting a lot of great people and excited to be here.
Is this your first time here? This is the second annual, right?
I was at an event back, I think, a month ago in Wall Street, the first of this series. But
okay.
This is my first time here.
At the one in LA. Event. Okay. All right. Well, me too. It's my first time here. So, hey, so you're from Colorado. So, half of our listeners are probably already guessing what you are into. So talk to us about what Massroots is.
So Massroots is one of the largest technology platforms for the cannabis industry. We have about 1 million users on our platform now, along with several thousand businesses in the regulated cannabis industry, primarily dispensaries.
All right.
And people use our platform to rate and review cannabis products and strains based on their effect. So this particular strain works good for headaches, this particular cream works good for back pain, and then we present that information in easy-to-use, actionable formats for everyday Americans to make their cannabis purchasing decisions.
Oh, okay. So, and is it just, I mean, you got creams and liquid
what's that stuff you put in the vape pipes? The oils, right? Is it oil
Oils
or juice? What do you call
shatters and oh yeah, we have data on every cannabis product out there.
Really?
Tens of thousands of products, millions, tens of millions actually of data points on those products, and we know which products are gaining the most traction in particular markets, and it gives us a tremendous amount of insight into the inner workings of the cannabis industry.
that? Wow. So when did you guys start this?
Back in 2013, we founded the company. I was a finalist for Peter Thiel's 20 Under 20 Fellowship. He was actually the first investor that I ever pitched Massroots to.
Okay.
And he didn't end up investing, but the Thiel Foundation actually introduced us to a lot of our early investors. Since then, we've gone on to raise about $30 million in equity offerings, and that's allowed us to scale into one of the top 3 tech companies in the cannabis space.
Holy cow! Wow. Where are you guys located? Besides, is it just in Colorado? Are you guys other places or?
So our app itself is available in every state and every market with a medical or recreational cannabis law.
And on iPhone and Android or?
Yep.
Okay.
App Store and Google Play Store.
Okay.
And it allows us to generate revenue and have exposure to all of these various markets that are coming online. I mean, Canada is going legal at the federal level on July 1st.
Federal level.
On the federal level. First, it's a major milestone for the entire industry.
Yeah.
So, there's so many incredible growth channels happening right now. But despite all of that, it's still illegal under federal law here in the U.S.
Yes,
so
it is.
that means
Yes.
that these dispensaries that are collectively generating billions of dollars in revenue don't have access to basic financial services. And I don't know any other industry out there where you have multi-billions of dollars in sales and
Walking
revenue
around
and
with a
substance.
suitcase full of money.
So we think there's an incredible amount that blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies can do to help transform this industry and make it operate more efficiently and in better compliance with state regulations.
Okay. What was your primary role for the company here?
So I'm the founder, CEO, and largest shareholder. I started the company by investing my entire life savings, and I've been leading the company ever since.
And when you, how many investors do you have? When you started off, was it one big investor, or were there a bunch that just came in? Did people see that this is a great opportunity?
Yeah, so we've raised funds from multi-billion-dollar hedge funds and from family offices, and we have about 35,000 shareholders right now. So we've been able to utilize crowdfunding, and actually our first 3,000 shareholders came from our app itself.
Really?
Users who loved our platform and wanted to invest in a product that they love. So it's been an incredible journey, and I think that shareholder base is going to be incredibly powerful as we start to expand into blockchain technologies.
And how are you getting the word out about your app there?
So we have a variety of marketing channels. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we collectively have, I think, 1 million and a half followers on those channels.
Wow.
And we go to all the cannabis cups, obviously. And
Okay.
any way that we can reach our target demographic, we're utilizing.
How fast are you guys growing right now?
So we're over 1 million registered users on our platform. We're growing by about, I'd say, I think the first half of this year we'll probably add about 250,000 users. But that's why we're really excited about the crypto space, because I think if you utilize tokens in the right form for a social platform like ours, those tokens can really be utilized to incentivize user growth and reviews of strains and products, which we feel could really cause our growth to increase significantly and really power our platform to be the #1 cannabis app out there.
And there's other coins. First one I ever heard of was Potcoin. And how are you guys? Do you guys ever talk to these other coins? Do you guys talk about how this is helping the industry, or what I don't know how the socialization works within this space here.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with the founders of Potcoin. We've talked a number of times. But what really separates our coin is that it's being utilized with within our platform and within Massroots to incentivize user growth and reviews of strains and products, which are our two North Star metrics. So at first, it's not going to be utilized to purchase cannabis at a local dispensary because there's still a number of regulations that need to be worked out on that front. But, eventually I think that it is a possibility we could expand into that space. But in the meantime, I want to collect as much data on the cannabis industry as possible.
Because that's going to be valuable data.
Yes.
Especially if Uncle Sam ever says, yeah, let's roll one.
No,
right?
we not in that sense, but I think in the sense of if you have a major alcohol company or a major company that's looking to enter the space and deploy a lot of capital, the first thing that they want is quality data on the industry so they can effectively deploy their capital in the smartest way possible. And that's what we provide. And I think there's a tremendous amount of companies up in Canada, these licensed producers, Canopy Growth, Afria, which is an investor in Massroots, who are sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars in cash that are looking for ways to deploy it because the total Canadian cannabis market, even once legalized at the federal level, is smaller than the California market here in the United States.
Really?
So if you think about it this way, Canopy Growth's market capitalization is bigger than the entire Canadian cannabis market.
That's crazy.
And that's one of 90 licensed producers. And then you have Shoppers, which is the largest dispensary chain up in Canada, or not dispensary chain, but pharmacy chain, kind of like the Walgreens of Canada. They're going to be selling cannabis at their dispensary or at their pharmacies.
Oh my gosh!
So.
Wow.
There's going to be a tremendous amount of capitalization, and I think you're going to see increasing amounts of capital from Canada being deployed here in the U.S.
Now, are you an activist for places like the United States to get this legalized? How does that work out?
So back in the 2016 elections, the Massroots community was the top three donors for marijuana legalization here in the United States. We raised over $250,000 for ballot initiatives across the country, and we have a very activist user base that is really influential and taking action and causing change on a number of issues. So actually back in 2014, we broke into the top 100 fastest growing social platforms in the App Store, and we were permanently banned by Apple for being cannabis related.
No way.
And that could have been the death of the company. We had less than 6 weeks of cash left on hand. No investor really wants to invest in an app that's not available in the App Store. So we went out to our user base. We had about 180,000 users at the time. And within 48 hours, over 10,000 of our users had sent personal emails to Apple on why they love and use our platform. The National Cannabis Industry Association, some of the leading businesses in the space, wrote a letter to Tim Cook arguing that Apple's policies were stifling innovation in the cannabis industry and holding back social progress. And within a few weeks, we were let back into the App Store. And we're incredibly grateful that Apple listened to our user base. And I think it kind of goes to show how much people love our platform. And when we have these action issues, whether they're government or a particular state-related issue, or issues at major corporations who take on anti-cannabis policies, we mobilize our user base, and we're able to affect real change.
Wow. So once again, we're talking with Isaac Dietrich here of Massroots. And what's the app called again?
Massroots.
Massroots. Just search Massroots in the Apple Store and the iTunes Store there, and you'll get it, download it, put it on your phone. And what do you see for the future for the U.S. here, or what's going to be the next country that says, yeah, let's do this?
So here in the U.S., there's a tremendous amount of states that are in the process of coming online. Florida on the medical side, Massachusetts on the recreational side, New Jersey just announced they're expanding their program. So there's a lot of growth factors here in the U.S. I think the total number of licensed dispensaries is going to grow from around 1,700 to around 2,500 over the next 18 months, which is great for our business because we charge those dispensaries listing fees to gain access to our user base. So the growth in dispensaries is directly correlated to the growth in our revenue, which should put us on a solid track to get to cash flow positive and be profitable as a business, which is incredible for any tech company.
Yeah.
So that's one of our major goals. But we're also very interested in the blockchain aspects because we we feel that can really enable these dispensaries to operate much more efficiently and with a greater degree of transparency to government regulators. So that's one of our main focuses over the next several months. Seed to sale tracking. So for those of you who are not familiar with government regulations, many states require that dispensaries and producers track the cannabis plant from the moment that it's planted in the ground to when it's harvested, turned into an edible, turned into oils, and then sold at a retail store. So we feel that by utilizing the blockchain, we can track that supply chain management far more efficiently, and then reconcile it to government regulators on a daily basis, which would enable them to have a greater degree of transparency and allow the industry to operate in a much more efficient and transparent manner.
So how do you track that one seed? Does it have a barcode on it? How do you make one seed accountable for its whole life? How do you do that?
Yep. So each seed is literally assigned a unique identifier, and then even if it's disposed or the cannabis plant is disposed, you have to record that it was disposed and exactly how much it weighed at the time, and provide. It's a highly regulated industry. It's much more of a regulatory and compliance industry than an agricultural industry or anything else.
Now, I'm not very familiar with the cannabis industry, but it sounds like it's legal to grow some of this. How is that happening?
So it's kind of bifurcated between home grows. A number of states allow people to grow, up to 10, say, cannabis plants at their home, which isn't required to be tracked to a degree. But if you're selling cannabis to consumers at a retail store, then you are subject to these highly specific and complicated reporting requirements, and you also have to get your products tested for chemicals, pesticides, to make sure that consumers are protected.
Wow. Yeah, it's like a lot of work going into that, and if this becomes legal on a national level, then that grows exponentially, right? All that data. Because there's going to be people doing it, like everyone would want to be doing this.
Correct. So I think that this uncertainty at the federal level is actually good for us, because we're in this Goldilocks window of opportunity where this uncertainty is keeping out the major players, major corporations, institutional capital, major talent, and that allows small companies like ours to grow and really conquer the market. And our goal is, by the time it is legal at the federal level, or if and when it becomes legal over, say 3-4 years from now, we'll be so large and have such a large market share that it would be far easier to acquire us than to try to compete with us.
Wow.
So I think this uncertainty is a good thing for now.
If you can't beat them, buy them. All right. So what's your next? What's going on for you next? What's going to happen now?
So we are we're heavily focused on our cryptocurrency. We're exploring implementing it within our applications. We're treating it as a security. So while it has utility aspects to it, we want it to be in complete compliance with U.S. securities laws.
Which are a lot, right? There's a lot of stuff to jump through on that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my
God. We did a small pre-sale, friends and family, raised about $1 million in a Reg D offering. And we're in the process of exploring our next steps. But I think that that would involve filing a registration statement with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Then I know that you can't tell anybody about this, but you're going to be listed on exchanges. And you can't say when or which one, right? That's part of the.
So the first step is filing the registration statement, and then after that's filed, then you start the application process. But this is something that we as a company are incredibly familiar with. We actually went public through an S1 registration statement back in 2015.
Okay.
So we are a publicly traded company already under the ticker MSRT. And we're treating this token as a separate class of securities that we're calling a token, and will be utilized like a token. However, we are in complete compliance with the U.S. securities laws, and we intend on doing it the right way.
Wow. Well, getting legal all the way around, and then hopefully pushing this to a national legalization of the marijuana industry, right?
and enabling the entire industry to move forward in a powerful way.
Yeah, and because I mean, there's other things that are benefiting not just for Jeff and his couch and his bag of Doritos, but for kids that they have lots of medical problems that have been proven that this actually does work, and that we got to get off our asses here in America and legalize this.
Yes, and the medical benefits are very powerful. Every single day we hear stories of how this plant has transformed people's lives.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're doing Lord's work there, Isaac, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Dean.
And you have been a breath of fresh air for us. Wonderful. And look forward to seeing what's going to be next for Massroots. All right.
Thank you, Dean.
All right, buddy. See ya.